call the meeting to order for the Town of Newfane Selectboard. That's the regular meeting for Monday, May 20th, 2019 at 6 o'clock. And are there any additions or amendments to the agenda? Okay. Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
we want to amend the minutes to put that access permit on this?
I put it in my report.
Okay,
so that
right,
we
no,
can use
all set.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so the second business is approval of minutes for April 18th, 2019 special meeting. And we didn't have any minutes, did we, for that special meeting?
Yes, this is the second time we've had them, and I make a motion to approve them.
I'll second it.
Okay, and any discussion? Say aye if you're in agreement.
Aye.
Okay. Aye. And so approval of the minutes for May 6, 2019. I guess that's our regular meeting, yeah. Were there any changes there? A motion to accept?
Make a motion to accept.
I say, I wasn't here.
Oh, do I have to second it?
Yeah, you have.
Okay, I'll second it. All those in favor?
We'll have to table it because there's not enough for a quorum
Right.
if he abstains, so we can do that at the next meeting.
Okay,
I have to because I wasn't here.
Yeah,
yeah.
and Mike's not here.
And Mike's not
tonight,
here.
So.
Okay, so we'll table the May 6 minutes. Okay, to the next meeting. Okay, the next piece of business is the road foreman and road commissioner's report.
The wetlands delineation at the town garage was done by Airwood Environmental. They have suggested setting up a meeting with the state wetlands coordinator to have it formally approved by the state. This would change the map so we wouldn't have to deal with this again. It's basically the wetlands now is where we've always thought it was. And the state had it going way up into the town forest, and so there'd be a fee for the person from Arrowwood to come down and meet with the state, but I think it'd be worthwhile because it's something that'll haunt us for years if we want to do work at the garage. So I would suggest that we have it done and be done with it.
Do you know what the fee is?
I don't. She charged I think $600 to do the area where the sand salt shed will go. I mean, it would be her travel time in a few hours probably, so I don't think it would be terrible. We have an access permit in that green folder in front of you for South Wardsboro Road that Christopher and I had looked at. You just need to approve it. The excavator was delivered on Thursday and everything looked good. There's a new slide starting on Stratton Hill Road. We've been in touch, we've been watching it for the last couple of weeks and it's been steadily moving. I've been in touch with our V-Trans engineer for guidance and hopefully they'll be up later in the week.
Are you talking like a mudslide, a hillslide?
It's basically about a third of the way into the road. It's just starting to,
Oh,
It's all clay and hard pan. And with all this nice rain we've had, it's just,
inching its way through.
we had to fix an area this side of that. Well, what was it, 3 years ago?
even more than that.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Similar to what was happening on Route 30 in Dummerston?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So at some point we'll have more information on that. The paving bid is in front of you too by that green folder. So you have that also, that's ready to go out. So basically it's Newfane Village and the streets within the village there that would be milled and repaved.
Now, when you guys do the paving, is it, you go through and you do based on the years of previous work?
Yeah.
And then you follow up with
Because
something?
the road starts to deteriorate really fast when it gets over so many years since it's been repaved, and that section's happened to be starting to look pretty bad, so we figured we better do it over there before it gets worse.
Okay.
And then also in the little packet is the Hunter Brook Road repair, that's ready to be sent out. And that's basically the same kind of, well, a similar kind of thing to what's happening on Stratton Hill that happened last year, that we're just getting around to. The state wrote us up the scope of work, and then we're ready to put that out to bid. I met with the bridge people from B-Trans at the Monroe Bridge and at the Green Iron Bridge in South Newfane. They had suggestions for repairs to lengthen the life of the bridge. And then I put down here as of 2 o'clock that they would be sending something. In the meantime, I got the thing. So they've got a nice list of stuff they want us to do to Monroe Bridge, and they are willing to give us a structures grant for $175,000. So we'll see how we make out with that. And there'll be some guardrail work being done in town later this week, hopefully, if the weather cooperates.
Where's the guardrails gonna be repaired?
Depot Road, there's a deep culvert down, about halfway down, and then another one up towards the gravel pit. And then on Dover Road, there's some of the cable stuff that's fallen over, we're trying to get all that replaced. So there's,
Cable off the guardrail?
it's the posts with the cables on it that
Yeah.
are falling over.
Yeah.
So that has, once you've had guardrail there, you can't take it down without replacing it.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
those fell down probably 10 years ago.
Oh, wow. I have a question. I was up on Sunset Lake Road yesterday, yesterday. There's a culvert there that looks, it's just enough to get a truck across.
That's in the works hopefully for this year.
Yeah.
Holy cow. And then the whole road itself is only one lane.
Yeah,
I've never really been up on that road
it's a lot
before.
of traffic too. There's 2 ditching projects that'll go on up there this year that will be like the bottom section where you gain a little more width.
Uh-huh.
I think by the time we're done with the culvert work, and it'll be much improved.
Uh-huh.
So,
It looked like there had been some culvert work on it with the stone
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
yeah.
But I had spoken with a couple of people that live up that way. You know, a lot of people don't use it, but then during the summer they do.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, they don't as much, but. Okay,
So those 3 things, you just have to approve the access on South Wordsboro Road, and then the other 2 are just for your information, the 2 bids that we've got to send out. That green folder has the access in it.
okay. So how's the excavator? What's the plan on that, the one that we're leasing?
We just got delivered on Thursday, and
Uh-huh.
we're just making sure, did you hear back that it's insured?
I didn't hear that.
Okay, we just want to make sure it's insured before we head out with it.
That's good thinking.
Yep.
Okay. So, this is a application for access right-of-way permit from Karen and Stephen Meyer. And they live, somewhere on South Wordsboro Road. I don't see an actual
Well,
property.
it's about 3/4 of a mile up on the right.
And they're looking for access for residential with a change in existing access to residential. What's that mean?
It's, the existing driveway was very steep, so they're closing that driveway off and putting a newer one in. that's
Oh,
not as steep.
gotcha, okay. What is the distance in feet of proposed access to the nearest intersection? Okay. So it's, the next closest intersection is 1320 south of intersection of Wall Hill Road.
Yeah.
And 300 feet each way. Okay, so I guess we make a.
I make a motion to approve it.
Okay,
I'll second.
second it. And any discussion or concern that we should be aware of? Okay, so all those that are in agreement say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
And I think you have to sign that as chair.
As vice chair.
There's an X. What?
As vice chair.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know, is there a place on to
I
sign?
don't
I
see
thought there
it.
was.
There used to be.
Just a landowner.
Well- We graded it anyway, so don't worry about it.
Is it?
Maybe you can see it. I don't see it there. Okay, so you're gonna check on insurance on
We just
the
wanna make sure it's insured
excavator?
before, and then we're gonna start it.
And so you have a plan of where you're gonna go first?
We've gotta finish Jones Hill first, and then we'll be up on Sunset Lake.
Oh, okay,
Just make
good.
yourself a line and sign and date. That way
Okay.
it's,
I didn't realize, I've never even been up to that lake. Wow.
Sunset Lake?
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah. Select board.
Should date it too. Back to him.
Yeah. And 2019. Let's see, applications, okay. So these other two things that are bids,
Yep. And we've got those so that at your next regular meeting, those will be back.
okay, to
So I'll get
review.
together with one edit tomorrow and we'll get them sent out.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so moving on to administrative assistance report.
I make a motion to accept the road foreman and road commissioners report.
Okay. Second it?
Oh, we really can't do that.
Because he's the road
Yeah,
commissioner.
So we
So
can
we have
just
to
move
table
on,
that?
right?
Yeah,
We can accept
that's no
and
big thing.
move on next week.
Okay.
That's not a very serious thing.
Okay, moving on. Administrative assistance report. See attached report. So, Netta?
Okay. So I've asked Jay for assistance in finding somebody to do the resurfacing on the front steps of the town office. He's given me 2 names and should be making contact with them soon as to when the work could, when they could look at the work and the time being involved. I heard back from Trooper Jensen at the Westminster Barracks. He sent me an email on the follow-up on the trash that was left outside the front office. And he regrets to inform us that the information that I provided him through the camera wasn't clear enough to get, to identify the individuals. He did meet with one of the gentlemen, and it was not clear, and he denied having any involvement. So at this point, I think we can just assume that there's nothing I can do and we can dispose of the garbage. I spoke with Eddie Droop the other day about his plans for the 2 cameras on the new building over here at WW. And he's gonna put one on each end of the porches, so they'll be focusing on the parking lot. And he said that we could look at the coverage to see if it would be adequate for the parking lot. And that should be up sometime in July or August. I don't know if the board would like to go ahead and wait for that before we do the camera upgrade. Jay did speak with the camera guy that did the security at the garage, and he said by installing one more camera out here to our existing system would cost somewhere between, in the neighborhood of $500. And I've been taking online classes for improving some of my grammar and writing skills, and hopefully you'll all be seeing improvements in that area. And then I've attached for the last 90 days training that I've been doing and projects and all of my classes that I've been taking for my review.
Thank you. It's very extensive.
I've been busy.
Okay,
Make a motion to
Make a
accept it.
I'll second.
okay. And any further discussion? Any questions? No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okey-doke. Let's see, we're on to the scheduled members of the public, there's none.
No?
And unscheduled,
No?
no, okay. And we're on to some old business. VLCT facts, open meeting law, we're gonna review. That was, I think, tabled from the other time. And, these are from the Vermont League of Cities and Town, and they're a nonprofit agency that handles municipality matters, and they're very important to running the town. We reference a lot of times to them and ask their advice on different things. But they have printed up, and it's on their website, all the questions, and the facts on open meeting law. So, just as I guess we can look through this on our own, but just to review what is the open meeting law. The open meeting law provides that all meetings of a public body are declared to be open to the public at all times, except as provided in section 313 of this title on executive sessions. And it's noted as 1 VSA 312A. The intent of the law is to create transparency in government by requiring advance public notice and an opportunity for public participation in governmental decisions. The law is found in 1 VSA 310.314. And the requirements is that we provide advance notice of the meetings, create and post an agenda for all regular and special meetings, conduct all business in open meeting unless exempt applies, vote by roll call when there's electronic participation. We used to have Gary who was on the phone lots of times, but otherwise we just do it in person. Allow public comment at the meetings, take and post minutes, and respond to complaints of violations. And it applies to every public body of a municipality. A public body is any board, a council, a commission, a committee, or a subcommittee of a municipality. So this includes bodies that are specifically mentioned in state statute and municipal charter, such as select boards, prudential committees, planning commissions, conservation commissions, cemetery commissions, development review boards, boards of civil authority, boards of health, zoning boards of adjustment. It also includes committees and subcommittees of those groups. The law does not apply to community justice boards or community justice centers. And you do have to have a quorum. The requirements of the law are triggered whenever a quorum of the body is meeting. A quorum is a majority of the total members of the body. A quorum is determined based on the number of positions on the body, not the number of persons occupying those positions. Therefore, a quorum does not change when there is a recusal or a vacancy. Meeting is defined as a gathering of a quorum of the members of the public body for the purpose of discussing the business of the body or for the purpose of taking any action. And it goes on to even detail down to how we can use email, phone, and other electronic communications. So we can't do group emails, only to schedule a meeting, create an agenda, or distribute materials to discuss at a meeting. And generally that will come out of administrative assistant's direction. It also shows, tells about the agenda. It's a requirement for every meeting, and the posting has a little bit more detail. The posted agenda has to be at least 48 hours in advance of a regular meeting and at least 24 hours in advance of a special meeting. An agenda must be posted in or near the municipal office and in or at least 2 other designated public places in the municipality. And we have our posted places as
the bulletin board in the town clerk's office, Newfane Market, WW Building Supply, Williamsville Post Office, and the website.
And the website, yeah. Let's see, there are minutes to be taken at every meeting and provide them to the public. And it details what must be included in the minutes. And then the minutes also have to be posted too. And there are some exceptions that to the open meeting law, which are detailed in this little manual. And let's see, tells you how to go into an executive session and what the violations are if you're not meeting properly. So, does anyone have any questions or comments? Do we have to accept this as a...
No, it was
No.
just a matter of reviewing.
Reviewing,
And
okay.
with the current vacancy on the board, it was part of the quorum and being able to pass certain decisions, even though
Yes.
there's a 5-member board with only 3.
You still have to have 3.
Yeah. So some things were tabled earlier because there wasn't a full quorum
Right.
that was eligible to vote. And then the second one is about the vacancies and how we can fill the spot.
Right, so we are looking for another board member, select board member, to fill out of the board so that we can work effectively. And there's a whole piece here about vacancies in elected offices. Again, provided by the VLCT, and we're following the rules. So please, if you're interested, contact Juanetta at the town office and speak to her if you have any questions about that. Any questions about that, guys? Okay. Okay, so on to new business. We have the Williamsville Hall Committee is requesting us to approve of a new member, Norbert.
Go ahead, I can't pronounce it.
Benash?
Benashi? Benashi? I hope we haven't killed that name for you. And I do got it here. No, that's not it. Oh, here. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Currently adding 1
Yeah.
makes it an 8-member committee.
I make a motion to accept him.
I'll second it.
That's his wife right there.
Oh, okay. 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 So, did you
I
made a
second.
motion?
You
Second
made it, Chris made
Okay.
a motion, I
Okay.
second.
Any further discussion? Do we have any concerns, questions? Okay. So, all approve, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So, we're up to our executive session, which I need to call for a review of a 90-day employee review. And I just need to know what that code is in respect to the executive session. So,
VSA 1
yeah,
through 12. I think it's 3.
under the executive session 1 VSA 312, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And also, so make a motion that we go into executive session. Okay,
I'll second it.
okay. And also, do we need to also make a motion to accept Juanetta into the committee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so would someone like to do that?
Well, I think all you gotta do is invite her in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. So we invite Juanetta Powling into the executive session. And we'll meet you on the other side. Oh, we did.
All in favor?
Oh, we're all in favor? Say aye. Okay.
Alright, so I make a motion, we do give one out of 50 cents an hour more.
An hour.
I'll second.
As discussed.
Based on her favorable review,
Yeah.
I'll second it.
I believe Chris already did.
Chris
Oh, you
already-
did? Chris did it? Okay. Any discussion about that? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
And, yeah, keep learning. Lots to learn. Can teach us. Okay, so we're on to correspondence. Okay, so we have a letter from Lynn Forrest first. It's an email sent to Rich Carroll amending Newfane's bylaws. So, let's see. I guess it's in order. Okay, so basically I'm just going to read from Lynn's email to Rich. Hello, Rich. The Planning Commission will meet on Thursday, May 16th. It would be great if you would be able to have a draft letter by then. Is that a possibility? I think actually it starts back here.
Yeah, they tend to run backwards.
Yeah.
It's on the back side.
Oh, it's on the back side? Is that beginning? Okay. Okay, so basically there was Lynn Forrest to Abby Friedman. Question about residents' request to change bylaws. Is the Planning Commission a legislative body? Hi, Abby. Question is the Planning Commission considered a legislative body? The Newfane Planning Commission has received a request to change the town bylaws to allow cemeteries and natural burials in the resource district. Currently, they are not listed as a use or conditional use in the Newfane bylaws. The PC, Planning Commission, will be reviewing the bylaws during the upcoming year. The Planning Commission has now received a formal request from a residents' attorney saying that a request to a town's legislative body must result in a hearing within 30 days. Is the Planning Commission considered a legislative body, or would the request need to go directly to the Select Board? If the Planning Commission is considered a legislative body, what happens if the 30 days has already passed? If not, does the PC Planning Commission then turn the attorney letter over to the Select Board, or does the resident need to submit the request directly to the Select Board? Hopefully, this isn't a complicated question and can be answered quickly. Thank you, Lynn Forrest. Okay.
Now, this is the same thing we're back to again?
Yeah.
Because I thought when we went through this whole time.
Well, no, it's not the same thing. I think it's,
Well,
because see,
it
he's,
is.
It's similar.
see what it is, one thing, I think he's got state permits on it already. And there was something about in the zoning, as, you know, with the, and the select board really had to know, none of us had no say because it's a state law, that's not allowed.
only for your own private family members.
Right.
Right,
And
You
this
can
person's
grant-
already got somebody else
right.
there.
And we didn't push it a lot at that point because he already had somebody else on it, I think. But I mean, there wasn't nothing we could do because I think the zoning board actually come back, because they were looking into it at the point, and the state come quietly said, no, it's not allowed.
Right.
So I think you gotta go through the whole Act 250 and everything else again. Then plus he's on
To
current,
change it, right?
like he's plus in current use or something like that, isn't he?
Yeah,
So I think the whole thing with the state statutes that's not even allowed in that area or on that land.
So, right, so I guess he's looking to,
He just,
Because we went through this there for about a month about it.
yeah, more than a month.
And there was a whole bunch of people come in here because there's a lot of them that was waiting to go there.
Yeah.
Was
True.
there a response from Rich Carroll on her?
Well, at the time, I remember, if I remember rightly, it came right from the state. The zoning board brought it right to us and said it was a dead deal because nothing could happen.
Yep, you're right, I remember that.
well, this was actually sent to Garrett Baxter at the VLCT. It says, hello, Guy. I guess that's Garrett. I'm sending you this email from the Newfane Vermont Planning Commission. I originally sent in to Abby, who is out sick today. So he responded. He's the senior staff attorney, Municipal Assistance Center at the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. Okay. And he said, good afternoon, Lynn. This was February 25th. And this is, again, the subject matter is about a question about the residents' request to change the bylaws. Is a planning commission a legislative body? Good afternoon, Lynn. First things first, any communication sent to the planning commission from an attorney should be brought to the immediate attention of the select board, as it is the select board. As it is, the select board is the body in the town that represents the legal interests of the town, and any such communication could impact those interests. As to your questions, while I can't speak to the request or its contents directly, a municipal planning commission does serve in a legislative capacity in the sense that the Vermont legislature has carved out for it a statutory role to play in preparing and presenting to the legislative body, the i.e. select board, proposed bylaws and make recommendations to the legislative body on the proposed amendments to such bylaws as set forth in Chapter 6 of this chapter. I'm not sure, however, what a 30-day hearing you state the attorney is referring to as Title 24, Section 4441, which governs the preparation of bylaws and regulatory tools, amendment or repeal, makes no reference to such a time frame. In such, though, a proposed amendment or repeal to a local land use regulation can be submitted in writing along with any supporting documents to the Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission may then proceed in accordance with the statutory prescribed process for its preparation and adoption as if it had been prepared by the Planning Commission itself. It only must so proceed if the proposed amendment or repeal is supported by a petition signed by at least 5% of the voters of the town, which you give no indication was the case here. I've attached for your consideration a document entitled Plan and Bylaw Adoption Tools, which is an educational guide created by the Vermont Land Use Education and Training Collaborative that takes you through every step of the bylaw adoption, amendment, and repeal process. As you can see, there is no reference to a 30-day hearing with respect to local land use regulations. Accordingly, I won't be able to answer your questions with respect to that time frame, and I would again suggest making the select board chair aware of the communication you received for possible consultation with the town attorney.
So that's why Lynn came to the last meeting to get permission to talk to the attorney.
Okay.
And then further on, you'll hear her asking Rich Carroll
Okay.
about addressing.
So that's where the town attorney comes in,
Yeah.
okay. So let's see, she writes, hi Rich, Monday night the Newfane Select Board voted their permission for me as Planning Commission Chair to correspond with you regarding the request for bylaw amendment as requested by Michael Mayer through his attorney
You
Samuel
don't get the word no, does he?
Angel. After the correspondence from Mr. Angel regarding the statute-required timing of responses to requests submitted to legislative bodies, I wrote to VLCT for guidance. Garrett Baxter, the senior staff attorney, responded in his letter attached that states the procedure for amending bylaws and specifically references requests by individuals. The bottom line is that the individual should bring a petition with a signature of not less than 5% of the town voters. At that point, the Planning Commission will review the petition and write a report, after which the commission would hold a hearing. So rather than involving Mr. Mayor's individual situation of wanting to add cemeteries as a conditional use in resource districts, the Planning Commission believes that the request for amendment should be treated without considering any potential complication arising from Mr. Mayor's personal or business situation. Therefore, you can delete any reference to the issues involving Mr. Mayor that we previously discussed. Please go ahead with a new letter to Mr. Angel. I would like to see the letter before you send it out. And Mr. Baxter said to let you know that he would be willing to assist you with this. And Lynn wrote back, "Hello, Rich. The Planning Commission will meet on Thursday, May 16th. It would be great if you would be able to have a draft letter by then. Is that a possibility? Thanks so much." From Lynn, Forrest.
Any correspondence from Attorney Carroll?
Not since then.
No? Okay.
So I guess that's just information for us to understand what's going on.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so the next piece of correspondence is from our request to a proposal for legal services. And to date, I guess we've only gotten one letter back.
One letter back and one phone call.
Oh, you did get a phone call?
And the phone call was from Fisher and Fisher, and they'd be happy to meet with us, or individually with the board at an appropriate time. And Attorney Slason came in Friday morning to introduce himself, so.
Oh,
Excellent.
he's a nice
So
guy.
he's made 2 attempts.
So basically, the purpose of this letter is to confirm Salem and Nostrum interest in serving as Newfane's general legal counsel. We presently serve as the general counsel to 3 towns in southern Vermont and are regularly called upon to provide representation to other municipalities as needs arise. We are a member of the municipal law section of the Vermont Bar and have presented at VLCT, I would say, events. I am a lead counsel for most municipal matters with more than 30 years of municipal law experience. There are a few issues I have not encountered. A substantial portion of my practice is devoted to land use planning, zoning, and regulatory matters. I have significant litigation experience and bring practical knowledge from having been a former member of the Rockingham Select Board, the Westminster Town Moderator, and the chairman of the Bellows Falls Union High School Board of Directors. I have personal familiarity with the town of Newfane as I was born and raised in Townsend. Eric G. Valletto has advised municipalities for over 10 years, and in that time he has assisted in drafting a wide range of town ordinances, regulations, and policies. Attorney Valletto has represented municipalities and the state of Vermont in complex land transactions, including the acquisition and development of a state wildlife management area. Mr. Valletto has also assisted towns with landlord-tenant matters, grant lending, property tax appeals, and property tax sales. Samantha Snow is a former deputy state attorney. Attorney Snow brings litigation experience and has provided representation in a number of land use and regulatory matters. During the course of Solomon and Nostrum's municipal representation, our attorneys are routinely involved with all aspects of municipal management, administration, employment matters, review of regulations and ordinances, zoning bylaw enforcement, and all aspects of municipal taxation, including tax sales and defense of property tax appeals, to the Director of the Division of Property Valuation and Review, as well as Superior Courts. Our firm regularly provides advice and counsel concerning the development, adoption, and interpretation of zoning ordinances, land use regulations, including review of policies and procedures of municipal bonds and land use panels. We have drafted zoning bylaws and intermunicipal agreements. We have provided legal guidance with regard to bonding and finance procedures. Our firm provides annual review of town warnings and procedures for annual and special town meetings. We take pride in providing high-quality representation to our municipal clients at a reasonable cost. We are prepared to provide representation to the town of Newfane on a straight hourly base of $150 per hour. This is a substantial discount of our customarily legal rate, which is $225 $225, there we go, per hour. Solomon and Nostrum has also had a commitment to be responsive to our clients, and we understand that response time is of particular importance to our municipal clients. Our firm's philosophy is to provide direct, common sense advice to anticipate and avoid disputes and litigation wherever possible, to maintain up-to-date knowledge of the law in all areas of practice, and to combine an efficient use of technology with old-fashioned personal service and relationships with our clients. We hope to have an opportunity to represent the town of Newfane as the town's general legal counsel. I would be happy to meet with you and your select board at your convenience. And that was dated May 8th. I need a drink. So like Manetta said that he came in personally, Larry did, Attorney Slason, and introduced himself, and he is a local gentleman who was raised in this area. And I guess at this point we should maybe wait, do you think, or?
We can go ahead and set up the appointment with the two that have responded. I have not had the third one respond yet.
There are three of them? Okay.
Have the two that have responded and make an appointment and we can meet with them.
Sure.
Do you want to do a public meeting or executive meeting for contracts?
I don't know how that works.
What do you think,
So you've
Chris?
got to do a public meeting. That'll be a public meeting.
It's a public.
Okay. So should I set it up for the next selectmen's meeting on June 3rd, if they can make it?
Yeah, sooner the better.
Okay.
And when you write your agenda on that, put it up at the top of the agenda so they don't have to sit here.
Right, that makes sense. Good thinking. Put it first.
Another thing I was just thinking, not about this one, but the one back on the mayor thing.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if we wouldn't pay to have Juanetta go through to see if she could find, when we had it in here before with Shannon, because I know that night at the meeting, there was nothing we could really do about it. And I don't think the ZBA could do nothing about it. It was a state thing on that whole lane.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So what I'm saying, I mean, there's no sense us keep spending money on lawyers,
Right.
writing back and forth letters, if it's already a done deal and they gotta do something through the state to even make this thing work first.
Right.
They might have to go through a whole state permit before they even come to us.
I think it was in the fall of last year, if my
Yeah.
memory serves me
It was
right.
right when he was trying to sell it to us.
Oh,
Give it
it's
to
going
Yeah, he's gonna
back.
give it to
Well,
us, right?
There was a whole
Earlier.
bunch of different things going on.
Situations.
So yeah, but I think that one might have been in the fall of last year. 'Cause I think the sale might have been in the spring. I can go through
But
my
I think we
notes,
might
too.
as well look at that first, because there's no sense keep letting them
Exactly.
spend the lawyer fees if if it was, there's nothing we're gonna do about it, you know?
And see if whether or not there was a statute for the state to.
But like I said, if I remember, it was a whole state thing, it had nothing to do with the town or any of us. And the state said there was nothing we could do about it.
Couldn't she also speak with like zoning? With Maryland?
Lynn would know as well.
Yeah.
So Lynn would definitely know when it was brought to the table.
Planning, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could talk with those two and then report back to us.
Okay. If possible, do you want both the attorneys the same night?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I guess so.
I would invite both of them, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're done with our meeting. We just have to do our pay orders, so, what's the word I need? I need to take a motion to,
No, we're all done with
oh no, all that.
Say good night.
Okay, just say good night.